Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And I keep saying, I'm gonna slow down with some of these watch reviews, but they seem to be resonating. People seem to like them. So I'm not gonna be doing a ton of expensive ones, but there's a couple of the cheap ones left. I did the Casio Duo. By the way, hit like, subscribe, and make comments. Help the algorithms. And so I went and did the Casio Duo, had some of the Invictas and some of the other Amazon ones, but another inexpensive watch, but at least is a name brand, is a Timex. And there's a Pagani design that I'm looking at that is an homage to an Omega. I would never spend the 8,000 to 10,000 for the Omega or more, so I may go get that. But yeah, we'll talk about that in another video. So this one that I liked from Timex is a good daily driver, I think. The model number on it is right there. It's one of the Expeditions, and 100-meter water resistance, and it's a chronograph and battery-powered quartz, and basic, but should be pretty good. It's got a little bit of pleather and then nylon bands, so it'll be good if it does get wet. Don't have to worry about getting it as funky as leather can get sometimes. So let's go ahead and take this off and see what we like or don't like. Hopefully it's just likes. So let's see, it's just instructions there. Pretty simple packaging. Again, this is a knife. I'm so used to doing knife reviews. This is a watch that you would probably see at like Target or Kohl's or something like that. Going to be pretty straightforward. The specs on this, I believe, is a 43 mil. When you look at the back, it is a snap-on back, set a screw-on. It'll tell you how to set the time. There's a little thing right here that pulls that. I guess that's to preserve the battery, so it's not sitting there running while it's sitting in a box for a year before somebody takes it home. So we'll just take that off, stick that over here. And there's the back. It's not a mirror polish like some of the other watches have been. But that's fine. I mean, it's brushed. It looks nice enough. It's easy enough to read. 100-meter water resistance, model number, tells you what battery it takes. I like that when they put on the back what kind of battery it takes. You don't have to take it apart and try to figure it out or look it up online. 2018 cell, CR2016. So we got that. And let's see. Let's go ahead and set the time. A smudge, yeah, it's just from my fingers. So let's go ahead and pull that little guy out. And this one does have a date as well. So I'm assuming that, let's see, does this just have an in and an out? Oh, that's a pretty good snap. So there, that's really weird. Do I have a defective one, or was it in between? Okay, so that's all the way in. Does this have Indiglo? Oh, okay, so that's what it is. This has Indiglo. So it's hard to get on the camera here because it's bright in here. Let's see. You get a slight blue glow. Okay, cool. Well, let's see. If we pull this out one click. That's weird. We're just adjusting the hour, but not the hands. So is that just for the date? I guess it is. Will the date roll backwards? Oh, it will. Interesting. Okay, so we need to roll it back to the 4th. Different watches kind of do things a little differently. All right, so if that rolls back, that would be midnight. So now we have to roll back to 2:03. Pull that now out all the way. And now we can go to 2:03. So it's the 4th, 2:03 p.m. all the way in. Okay, nothing's changing. We're good. And then now if I give it a bump, we should get that Indiglo. That's pretty cool. All right, so we got that set. Let's see. We've got a stopwatch. I think we're going to have to set the hands on that because that doesn't look right. So let's go hit reset. Will that reset everything? No. So sometimes you got to open. All right, so that's the seconds for the clock. And let's see, maybe if we pull this out all the way, yeah, we can reset that. Reset that. Let's see, does that reset? It is kind of weird the way the complication there. It's like a 30. So that means, yeah, I guess I just go on 30. But how do I get that one to adjust? Can I? Okay, so that's the stopwatch. Let's start. All right, so that's running. And then you stop it, it shows you tenths. Okay, great. When I reset, it resets that, it resets that. But it's not quite resetting that, which I don't know how we would do that. Oh well, I'll have to fiddle around with it. You know, it should have a decent time. I'm wondering if that is moving. No, it's not moving, that one. All right, now the time is 2:05, so let's update that. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out that complication there. I'll probably need to watch a video on it. But back to, that's just a setting of it. So back to the fit and finish, you know, it's basic. These things are only, what did I pay for this one? Let's see, we paid the princely sum of, now put the link in the top. Yeah, $73. So what do you get for your $73? Well, you get a nice, handsome dial. It's actually a very nice dial. The complications, then everything's not lining up perfectly. That may bother some people. You know, others, if I glance at it, I'm just like, I can tell what time it is, even if it's off by a fraction of a millimeter. It uses a standard, I don't know if it's an 18 or a 20 mil band, but fabric is nice and flexible, should be good with sweat. You should be able to wash it easily and make sure it doesn't get funky. That's a nice looking watch. That's adjustable there. Got a little Timex emblem there. It's basic, but this is just your field watch, you know, or military style, I think they call it, where it's just a no nonsense, readily available, you know, legible. You got there's no dial or anything like that on it. I'm pretty sure this is just mineral crystal. It's not going to be anything higher end like sapphire, but at this price point, I don't normally expect that. You know, it's Timex. It'll have whatever warranty it comes with. It's a nice looking watch. If I compare it to some of the other ones in the price range, you know, there's a Casio here, the Duo, for a little bit less, but you know, it's got plastic instead of leather and nylon. I don't know if that makes much of a difference in the price, but this one's a chronograph, whereas this one's not. This one has a backlight. This one does not. Some of my others, you know, none of them actually have backlights. None of my analog ones, I don't think, have backlights other than this G-Shock right here. These ones all have Lumi, my Citizen, my Bulova, my Tissot. These ones have Lumi. But the only analog one I have that's backlit is this one. And it's that indigo blue. So you can't see it much in the daytime, but they did it that way so that, you know, at night it's not like really bright and affects your night vision or gives you away if you're trying to check your clock, you know, check your watch in the dark. It doesn't light up your face and kind of give away your position, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just a dim light. Maybe there was no further thought than that in it. But it seems nice and sturdy. It's, you know, it's basic, but some people, that's all they want, you know. Some people don't want to spend $400, $200, $400, or thousands on watches and stuff like that. Sometimes, you know, and maybe you don't trust the Amazon brands, you know, but Casio, Timex, those are brands that have been around forever. They do know how to make a watch. They make $20 watches. They make watches up into the thousands. It's all, you know, depending on what you want to spend. But they're good companies that make a good product. I will say these points, as I'm holding this in my hand, pushing it that way, a little bit sharp. Would have been nice if they'd been beveled just a little bit more. I don't feel it when it's on my wrist. I think just the way that it's shaped, it does, those points, you can see there's a gap there. It's not anywhere near my skin. And even if I really pull the strap tight, it's not pulling it into it. When you hold it, you're like, oh, that's kind of pointy. Digs into my thumb a little bit. It's not going to cut you, but you definitely notice that horn there on all of those corners. But on your wrist, even if it's tight, I'm not feeling it at all. Oops, flexing my wrist, no problem. That's a nice little watch. That'll be a good little addition to the collection here. You know, you break out your watches. You know, sometimes you just get one watch and that's all people care about. And that's probably what I should have done. But I thought, I don't know, it just gave me something else to focus and be interested in. It looked like an interesting hobby, and, you know, telling time is kind of important. And timepieces are, I'm fascinated by the mechanics of them, even a quartz one. You look at the inside and you're just like, is this sorcery? How does this work? But that's a nice looking little watch. I mean, that'll be a good little addition to the collection. You know, it's in the price range of some of these, you know, with the Invictas, and it's, you know, it's more than the Amazon, you know, brands, but it's a good watch. I'm going to take this one out because this one's just too big. I'm never going to wear it. I'm going to give this away to somebody. I don't know who. I need to find somebody who's bigger than me that has just really big wrists and doesn't mind having a big honking watch. So if you're one of my friends that lives near me where I don't have to like box this up and ship it to you, let me know. And I'll just give you the damn thing. You can have it. That'll free up space for the Pagani Design Omega homage. But I'm definitely digging it. It's nice. It's very clean. I've had Timexes as kids, and I had Casio data banks and things. So for me, there's a little bit of nostalgia. This has this kind of older design. And other than needing to figure out how to reset that complication, it being already showing on the 1 minute mark, I need to just figure out how to get that reset. And that might be something as simple as reading the instructions, although I find it's easier just to go to the YouTubes and find somebody who has that and has already done it. It'll be quicker than reading the manual, which will be in like 5 different languages. But that's a nice, good size. It's brushed here. It's pretty much polished everywhere else. Looks good. And that's probably an 18 mil. Let's see. Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be an 18 mil band, because I got a band over here that is a 22. And it is, no, maybe that's a 20. No, that's a 20. I'll take it back. That's a 20-inch band. So there'll be lots of options out there if you wanted to dress it up a little more, if you wanted a metal band, if you wanted something in actual leather. For the utilitarian and kind of a beater watch sort of where I would envision this being, I think that the straps that they have on it are perfectly serviceable and should be reliable and strong and won't get too funky. Leather, sometimes once you get funk or mold in there, it can be kind of to get out. I think it's easier to wash out the nylon. And nylon itself also might be slightly, antimicrobial. I'll have to double check on that. But, for a watch, I wouldn't go deep water swimming with it. Especially when it's got these chronograph buttons that do not have, and this crown doesn't screw down either. So when they say 100, I wouldn't even take it in the shower. I mean, that's the only thing about some of these watches. They call them field watches or outdoor. If you get out in the rain, maybe a shower is okay, but I wouldn't want to have like the jet blasting and forcing under pressure that water getting into it. I think if you're out in the rain or you just get your hands wet washing your hands, I don't think it'd be a problem at all. I wouldn't submerge it at any depth, and I wouldn't go and blast it with any kind of pressurized water. I have a feeling you will get some ingress around here because those are not screw down. This is a 200-meter watch. All of them are screw down. So when you screw them, it tightens them so they can't move, and it presses it up against a rubber gasket. And that's why you can have a watch like this that you can go scuba diving to a decent depth. I mean, this is the pro version, and I would trust that one. I would trust my G-Shocks and things like that. When you get to and even the Invicta is supposed to be pretty damn good, and that does have a screw-down crown, and it's only got the one. It doesn't have the chronograph. The more things you add, the more buttons, especially push buttons, the more areas that could potentially leak. And when they're not sealed with a screw-down crown, I don't trust them to go swimming with. So if you want to pull, a watch to go swimming with, then look to one of these cheap diver watches, $55, $50. Those are 200-meter rated. You can go swimming, you can go scuba, go play in the lake, go jet skiing, and you should be fine with them. If you're like, oh, I really want something even tough to take a hit, get yourself a G-Shock, man. And you don't have to spend $200 or $130 on these. You can get G-Shocks down in the $50 to $100 range that are down priced like these. If you don't mind an all plastic watch, then those are a good option. But for somebody who just wants a nice cash watch, I say cash now instead of casual, from a name brand, look at the Casio Duo. Look at my review on that. Look at the Invicta. A lot of the Invictas suck. Just the designs. The Pro Divers, this is a Submariner homage. It's a good looking watch. It wears really well. And they seem to last pretty long. I think you get many years. As I say, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That was the brand mantra. They're for their commercials and stuff like that. That was the hook. And they really do. They make a good watch. So I got to think of what one's going to take this spot. I said I would stop, but I keep obviously taking watches out. I'm going to give both of these away. I've got a Pro Diver, and then I've got this, whatever the hell this thing is, Dive Master Pro. I don't know. This thing will stop a bullet. I'm almost tempted to go hit it with a 22 just to see if it stops it. But I don't want to ruin a perfectly good watch. I just put a brand new strap and a battery in it, so it'd be a shame to waste it. But I'll give that away to someone, and I'm going to give this one to one of my friends too. Problem is everyone's got Apple Watches now, so it's one of those things. I don't know how many people actually wear the old school, more, I think, classy. There's only so you can. I've seen some nice versions of the Apple Watch and nice bands and stuff, but to me, it's a disposable toy. It's going to be gone in 3 years. The battery's either going to be dead and they're not replaceable, or it's not going to be supported anymore with software updates. You're going to get the new iPhone or the new Galaxy and it won't talk to it. You're going to need a new watch anyway. These, you take care of them, even these cheap ones, should last you years. And certainly when you start getting into this quality and G-Shocks and even the Casio Duo, these things should last you decades. So you may spend more money on this and this than your average Apple Watch, but if it lasts you 30, 40 years and you're gone and you hand it down to somebody, and it's still working, and you can get it serviced and stuff like that, it's like, that's way better than spending $350 to $400 every 2 to 3 years on an Apple Watch. Over 40 years, you will spend thousands of dollars on basically just a new version of what you already had. It's disposable. You just buy new ones every year, and that's kind of, the way the world is. They want you to have subscriptions now in your car to have heated seats and things, even though the car comes with heated seats. Oh, you want to actually use the heated seats? Oh, okay, now you got a subscription. That's what they're trying to do, is just nickel and dime everybody to death. I'm not about that. So it's, certain things like phones, they're going to be outdated, and you're going to have to do that. But I don't need to, something as simple as a watch to tell time when I don't want to be looking at my phone, or I'm just out in the woods, or I'm doing something and don't want to keep pulling my phone out and just go, oh, it's 3 o'clock. I've got to get running. I'm going to be late. It's nice to have a watch, and I don't want to spend $350 on a disposable watch when I can spend $350 or less and get a really good watch that lasts. So there's my sales pitch on buy yourself some decent watches. Not that all of these are decent. They work. They're good for that. But, you can get some of these ones too that are nice. But for the sub 100 market, Timex Expeditions are really nice. The Casio Duos, really nice. Some of the cheaper entry-level G-Shocks, really nice. And then if you want to roll the dice on some of these Chinese ones from Amazon, they seem to get good reviews from people. So I don't know. A lot of them are using Seiko movements inside. So all they're doing is copying someone's case design and strap design and slapping some lower end but still Japanese Seiko movements that they sell to a whole bunch of watchmakers. They're reliable, they're good, they're accurate, and they just dump them in their chassis, and the chassis are going to be copies of someone else's. So as long as they assembled it right and it doesn't fall apart, you got Seiko guts in a lot of these things. I don't know what Timex uses. They probably use their own. They're big enough to have their own stuff. But anyway, this went longer than I thought. I tend to do that. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions. But I like it a lot. I think it's a really nice, clean design. I like the colors. It's not too shouty and in your face. It just looks like a nice casual watch that you'd be out wearing around the yard, or going about your daily business. And then when you want to go somewhere nice, you throw on one of your dressier watches. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys.